Right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all the praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of the great millstone who rule and teach well. Peace and safety and much blessings to the Yakim that is pushing this truth out the four corners of the earth in all truth and sincerity and in diligence. Shalom. All right, and I was watching Elder Apostle Rumlab's video. I watched it all. I watched the whole video. And, I just want to, put my take on it, man. Lord willing, this is edifying. The elder, the apostle, he broke it down, like, flawlessly, But I just want to, get into the Esther 8:17 because, here we are, in 2024, we tackled every topic, everything that, that has been brought out to try to make a loophole for the heathens. And yet here they are still trying to make a loophole for all nations. But these Christians don't like to deal with the Old Testament. But if they find something in the Old Testament that they can use to try to say, "Ooh, look, a loophole right here," then they want to deal with the Old Testament. All right, so no, and here we are again. So and this is my take on Esther, 8:17 through the Spirit. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to it. This is so like Esther 8:17. It says, and in every province and in every city, whither so the king's commandment and his decree came, the Jews had joy and gladness, a feast and a good day. And many of the people of the land became Jews, for the fear of the Jews fell upon them. So Christians are saying that, like, you can become a Jew. Anybody can become, an Israelite. But what they not understanding, and Apostle Arumla went over this, but what they're not understanding, this is a bloodline. All right, this is not a religion. It's not nothing that you can just join. Look, I'm gonna sign up for the basketball team and I'm on a team, or I'm gonna sign up for this and I'm gonna sign up for that. Like child support. Any woman can sign your ass up for child support. Okay, make you a customer, because that's what it really is. But this is a bloodline. You have to be either an Israelite or not. Okay, you have to be part of that stock of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Okay. So it says, many of the land became Jews, for the fear of the Jews fell upon them. Now you have to do the history. You got to do the history on what happened. You got to go back and read, okay, what happened to Haman and his sons. All right, and when the king put out his decree, that anybody that tried to come up against them, they were going to be slaughtered. They was placed them back in good standings. Okay. Because Haman tried to take him out, man. Haman tried to take him out. You got to read that. That's in the third chapter. Matter of fact, this is Esther 3, and let's see. This is Haman 3:8, and Haman said to the king Xerxes, which would be Asherus, right? Asherus, I'm saying it right. Let's see if they can show me how to pronounce it. I'll show me how to. Well, we know it's Xerxes. There is a certain people scattered abroad and dispersed among the people in all the provinces of the kingdom. See, because that word scattered is attached to the nation of Israel, because that was one of the curses. It says, and their laws are diverse from all people, neither keep they the king's laws. Therefore it is not for the king's profit to suffer them. But if it please the king, let it be written that they may be destroyed. And I will pay 10,000 talents of silver to the hands of those that have the charge of the business to bring it to the king's treasury. All right, so this is what Haman did. Haman was looking to destroy the Israelites, man. Okay. Well, because after this is during the Persian captivity, so the northern kingdom was already over to the Americas. Okay, so this is what he was doing. This is the decree that he wanted to set forth and put out in the provinces of the Persian Empire during that time, because Haman is a wicked ass nigga, man. Okay, so look, going to Esther 8 and 17. Now let's do this. Let's go to Esther and the commentary. Now I'm gonna go read the commentary on this. Watch this. It says, and many became Jews, but they became Jews because they were scared of what was going to happen to them. Okay? Check this out. This is the commentary on Esther 8 and 17. It says, they thought them formidable and considered those miserable that were against them. Right? They plainly saw in Haman's fate. See, they plainly saw what happened to Haman, because Haman was hung on those same gallows, right? That's what the word that was used. That was hung on those same gallows, him and his sons, right? They plainly saw in Haman's fate that if any offered injury to the Jews, it was at their peril, and therefore for their own security, they joined themselves to them. It is folly to think of contending with the power of Israel, and therefore it is wisdom to think of submitting to him. Okay, so it was for their own security, that they, submitted themselves, to what they would, and they would like call themselves Jews, man. Even though they wasn't, right? They wasn't Jews, but they claimed to be, right? And I was looking that up. Let's go to the. Where I had that at? I had that in the Bible Hub. Commentary. Let's just see. Oh no, trip. Esther. Esther 8. 17. Look what it says. Let's see. See, and this is what the apostle was going into. Look, it says, became Jews, joined the nation as proselytes. Now, they don't mean that they were Israelites. They just converted themselves to call themselves Jews. That's it. Where is that? See what Cambridge says. See? Good day. Look what it says. It says, took their side in conflict, joined themselves. Well, let me start at here. The lexicon, I believe that's what it is, have were circumcised and became Jews. They became proselytes in order to secure themselves in the face of the increased importance and the position which the Jews were attaining through Mordecai. So they basically just got down. It's either they was going to get down or lay down. Doesn't mean that they were Israelites, okay? And I'm going to show you something. Check this out. And it doesn't mean that you can just be, you can just become a Jew. You can just become an Israelite. No, okay? You can practice, right? You can, you can keep the customs, right? But you still can't be an Israelite. It has to be by blood. Owning, however, to apparent improbability of a large number of actual proselytes and Jew. Man, come on, man. Fucking Edomites on this radio, bro. Proselytes to Judaism among the Persians, and Judaism has nothing to do with with us, bro. You know, us Israelites. Because Judaism, you know, they deal with the Talmud. All right. It says, okay. It says among the Persians, an occurrence of which there is no record outside the passage. It has been suggested that by a very slight chance, in one Hebrew letter, we should obtain the meaning of united themselves to the Jews, took their side in conflict, joined themselves unto them. It is, however, possible that verb in the Hebrews might mean pretended to become Jews. All right, that's the commentary on it. All right, they pretended to become Jews. Okay. Let's see. So like, I'm at work. You know, this is how I gotta get it in. Okay, so look, going back to this commentary right here. So basically, they became Jews out of fear. Okay, doing what's necessary. So it doesn't mean that they were actually of the bloodline. All right. It says, for their own security, they joined themselves to them because they seen, you know, how like, you know, the saying in the world, how they came up overnight, man. You see? So it doesn't mean, you know, that, hey, they anybody can just become, you know, an Israelite. No, right? Because like you can practice all the laws if you want. You could be a heathen and try to, you know, practice all the laws if you want. You could do it all you want, but the salvation is still what? For the Jews. Because check this out. Ruth, right? Matter of fact, let's go get the commentary on Ruth. Right? This is the commentary on Ruth 16. Because Ruth was a Moabite, right? Okay? But the scripture says, matter of fact, let's go get it. Deuteronomy 23:3. And an Ammonite or a Moabite shall not enter into the congregation of the Lord, even to their 10th generation shall they not enter into the congregation of the Lord forever. So, okay, Ruth was a Moabite. So we just read that ain't no Moabites entering into the congregation of the Lord. Now when we go get the commentary on this, look, check it out. Check this out. And I'm going to read this. It says, the Chaldean paraphrase thus relates to the debate between Naomi and Ruth. Ruth said, entreat me not to leave thee, for I will be a proselyte. Meaning I will convert, right? You know what I'm saying? It says, Naomi said, we are commanded to keep Sabbaths and good days. Now, just because you have to be of the stock of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. All right, you can't just, that word proselyte just means to convert. All right, so no matter what it is, you got to be of the stock of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. All right, so but she said, and it tells you that she was a Moabite. So it says that, and we know that no Moabite will enter to the congregation of the Lord. So look, it says, entreat me not to leave thee, for I will be a proselyte. Naomi said, we are commanded to keep Sabbaths and good days on which we may not travel above 2,000 cubits on a Sabbath day journey, because that was part of the law. We can't go. It's on the Sabbath. You can only go so far. But here we are in captivity. It says, well said Ruth, whether thou goest, I will go. Naomi said, we are commanded not to tarry all night with Gentiles. Well, Ruth said, whether thou lodgest, I will lodge. Naomi said, we are commanded to keep 613 precepts. Well, Ruth said, whatever thy people keep, I will keep, for they shall be my people. Naomi said, we are forbidden to worship any strange god. Well, Ruth said, thy God shall be my God. Naomi said, we have 4 sorts of death: for malefactors, stoning, burning, and strangling, and slaying of the sword. Well, Ruth said, well, thou diest, I will die. We have, said Naomi, houses of sepulchres, and there, said Ruth, I will be buried. So the point is that you can do all what you want to do. You can try to, keep the law, statutes, commandments, as a heathen, you know what I mean? But salvation, this is John 4:22. Ye worship, ye know not what. We know what we worship, for salvation is of the Jews. So only the Jews will reap salvation. So when it says that, and many of them became Jews, they were just doing that out of fear. It wasn't that they were really Jews. It was something else that I had looked up that I cannot find. I mean, where was it? I want to say it wasn't this. Probably wasn't. But look, it said Geneva Study Bible right here. It says, and many of the people of the land, I'm gonna read this, and in every province and in every city, whitherso the king's commandment and his decree came, the Jews had joy and gladness, a feast of a good day. And many of the people of the land became Jews, for the fear of the Jews fell upon them, conformed themselves to the Jews' religion. That's it. So they was doing it out of fear, man. It wasn't that they can just, become that. You can't just become an Israelite, man. It's a thing of a bloodline. All right, so that's not a loophole at all, man. Okay. Ruth was down with everything. She still can't enter into the congregation of the Lord. You see? Esau, Edom, they and the only people they trying to make a loophole for is Esau, Edom. That's it. Okay. Like Apostle Paul, out of fear, right? Because they was finna in Acts, right? In Acts 22. In Acts 22 and 24, the chief captain commanded him to be brought to the castle and bade that he should be examined by scourging. So they was going to beat Apostle Paul, that he might know wherefore they cried so against him. And as they bound him with thongs, Paul said unto the centurion that stood by, is it lawful for you to scourge a man that is a Roman and uncondemned? Right? And when the centurion heard that, he went and told the chief captain, saying, take heed what thou doest, for this man is a Roman. And the chief captain came and said unto him, tell me, art thou a Roman? A Roman? He said, yeah. Okay, so, and that struck fear into that chief captain. But Apostle Paul just said that for his benefit, man. Okay, he said it at the benefit of at that time, so he wouldn't be scourged. So they only became Jews for their own benefit. It wasn't that they were, hey, these are, now that you just adopted into this thing, man. Not at all. What about those Israelites, right? What about in 2 Maccabees, right? 2 Maccabees 6:6. Neither was it lawful for a man to keep Sabbath days or ancient fast or to profess himself at all to be a Jew. You see? Right? Okay. Now when you jump down to verse 9, it said, and whoso would not conform themselves to the manner of the Gentiles should be put to death, then might a man have seen the present misery. Okay? So it was unlawful for you to call yourself a Jew, and if you are being governed and ruled and tormented and oppressed by the Greeks, you're going to call yourself what? A Greek. But were you a Greek? And neither was, and going back to Apostle Paul, being a Roman was not a nationality. Being a Greek is not a nationality. It's a way of life. But Apostle Paul called himself a Roman for his own benefit at the time, man. Even knowing that what they was doing was off. Okay? So it says what? It was unlawful for a man to call himself a Jew. So what he had to call himself? He had to call himself a Greek. And if you did not do it, you're going to be put to death. And so what did many of the Israelites do? This is Maccabees 1 and 43. Yea, many of the Israelites consented to his religion and sacrificed unto idols and profaned the Sabbath. So many of them did what? Called themselves a Greek, man. But were they Greeks? Were they actual Greeks? No. They were Israelites calling themselves Greeks. Like I said, the Greeks is not a nationality. It was just a way of life, you know. That's it. Like Romans, it's just a way of life. Okay? But they only called themselves Greeks for what they felt would be beneficial unto them, for the fear of being put to death. Okay? So, let's see. Going back to Esther 8 and 17. And in every province and in every city whithersoever the king's commandment and his decree came, the Jews had joy and gladness and feast for a good day, and many of the people of the land became Jews, for the fear of the Jews fell upon them. Because when you read Esther 9, it says, let's see. I want to see. See, look, check it out. In the verse 10, in the 10 sons of Haman of Hammedatha, the enemy of the Jews, slew they, but on the spoils laid not their hand. But the point is, well, where was that? Yo. Man, where is it at? I think it was 9 and Salaki wrote these letters. Dang. Well, okay, verse 5. Let's just read that. It says, thus the Jews smote all their enemies with the stroke of the sword, and slaughtered and destruction, and did what they would unto those that hated them. Yeah, con. So they knew that, listen, man, they didn't came up overnight, man. We better, you know, anybody talking down or trying to come up against these people, they're going to be slaughtered. So out of fear, what they did, they conformed. Doesn't make them Israelites. Only way you can be considered, you know, of the stock is that you got to be of the stock. All right. So they became Jews just because they you know, they got down with the way. You know. You see. And they just, you know, they because they was gonna get their ass slaughtered. So, Lord willing, you are edified. Shalom.